Hey, thanks for tuning in and slowing down to hang out with me at the back of the pack in the world of running behind. I'm Joey Metzger, and today I am once again joined by my buddies Mario and Erik for another edition of Crew Access. In this Volume 3, we've got plenty to chat about. Erik and I recall our experience at the 2025 Afton trail races, while Mario recounts his attempt at a 100-mile week, including a 34-mile day to honor his 34 trips around the sun. We also touch on some recent happenings in the world of trail running and talk about upcoming races. We even talk about how Erik wants to get his first tattoo. We've got a ways to go, folks, so lace up those North Face Vectiv Enduris 4s tight and make sure you know what the hell vest pocket you put your cell phone in, because it's time to hit the trail. You got a little color. That's good. You got a little color. That's good.
Yeah, and that may also be left over from the epic week I had. We can get to that.
Erik and I did not get a ton of color on Saturday. We got a little bit of humidity, but not a lot of color. Got mud. I guess mud is a color.
Brown mud.
Yeah, brown.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah, we're just picking our house back up. We had painters here for 3-4 days. I was telling Erik this, the 3 days before Afton, we were sleeping, like my wife and I, the dog, and the cat's down here too, in a tiny little room in our basement because our whole house is torn apart to get the whole thing painted. And so I had about the worst 3 nights of sleep right before Afton 25K. Not like that made any difference.
Great
I felt great all day until I overheated, and then I didn't. But yeah, we'll get to that. I suppose, should we get started? I don't have great notes like I have before, but I think we got a lot of shit to talk about anyways. So, should we hit our races first? So Mario, I want to talk about your birthday week because that came first. So you did, and you can tell everybody, you were shooting for how many miles on your birthday week this year?
It's the second year in a row I've tried to go for the 100-mile week during my birthday. So I every year for the last, I think I did my first one in 2018 was it 29? I think it was 2019. On my 27th birthday, it would be 28th birthday. I did a birthday run. I was going to do a run on the North Country Trail from just west of County Road 2 in Reamer, and I was going to take the North Country Trail all the way to my wife's family. We stay at a campground resort at Graves Lake, and I DNF'd that pretty hard. It was like the day of the horsefly and blackfly hatch. It was so bad that I had sleeves on and I had a head net, but I was still getting bit through the head net on my ears. They were biting me through my shirt that I was wearing. And I finally got some cell service, and I called Claire, my wife, to come out and pick me up. And the flies were literally attacking the van. Whatever was warm, they were landing on and biting. So when I opened the van door and jumped in the van and closed the van door, about 10 flies came with me. That's how bad it was. So the next year
it was unmaintained as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first probably 13 miles was completely unmaintained. So I was running through ferns and old raspberry thorns. And in June, actually it was the end of June, I did it a little after my birthday that year. And so my legs were all, cut up with a bunch of micro cuts. And I had like 6 or 7 ticks on my legs from my shorts down. And the back of my arms swelled up.
Two questions. Did you have a machete, and how many ticks did you get?
I think in total it was over a dozen. I found them kind of throughout the day.
Right
away, I found about 6 that were stuck on me, and then later throughout the day, you just all of a sudden there's a tick crawling on my leg. I have no idea where it came from or how it got there after that. But so the next year I did it at Elm Creek Park Reserve. They have that big outer loop. It's about 15 miles, and I ended up doing a 50K on my birthday that year. And so then I figured I'm just going to keep doing the miles of my age until I hit a point that I don't feel like doing or that I feel is unattainable. So this year I tried
like 57. 57 would be, that'd be
well,
a
I've
lot.
been asked when I'm going to switch it to kilometers, and I don't know yet. That'll be determined at some further date. But I set out to do 100 miles that week. So I started out good on Monday. I think I did 10 miles Monday. And then I did a half marathon on Tuesday. And so I was at like 26 miles. I was feeling good. Wednesday, I did a 10K, and I was supposed to do like a big effort run, but I had a long day at work. I was going to take Thursday, Friday off. I was off on Thursday for Juneteenth. And so that's the day I was going to do my 34 miler. So I went out late Wednesday night, and a lot of kind of goofy things happened during my run that just pointed to the fact that I should be done running and rest up and tackle the A goal, which was to run 34 miles for my 34th birthday, which wasn't until June 25th, like almost a week later. But that's the day I had off, and I made it work. So, so I ended up doing a 10K Wednesday. I did my birthday run on Thursday. Friday afterwards, that's when there was a heat wave that came through Minnesota over that weekend. And it was just like unbearably hot. And my body was still recovering from at that point, I think it was 72 miles at that point it was like 60, 65 miles. And so my body was still recovering. So I took it easy Friday. Saturday, I tried to go out, and it was like swimming, you guys. I don't know how much you ran over that weekend, but it was just thick. The air was so thick and heavy. I ran 5 miles, and I stopped sweating. I ran out of water, and I had stopped sweating. I was completely soaked. And so I played it smart because although running 100 miles in a week would be great, I don't want to break my body trying to do some goal that I've kind of made up for myself. I have A races and A goals for later in the year. So maybe I'll get it in the fall when it's not 100 degrees and thick humidity.
So this is the third year, second year.
Second year I've attempted it this week.
Second year you've attempted to run 100 miles on your birthday week.
Yeah, to culminate
and the second year you've attempted to run your 33 miles and 34 miles for your birthday age, right?
Correct.
Okay. I've been thinking about this, and Erik, you went out to join him for the last 6 miles of this, right?
Yeah, so I've been working at home the last month. We welcomed our second child June 7th, so he's actually 1 month old today as we record this. So I've been working from home.
I'll have a sip of bourbon up for that.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. What's the bourbon of choice tonight?
Buffalo Trace.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, I'd been working from home, and had been having kind of a slow week, but my company's in the middle of a software conversion, so it's just meetings pop up, and I have to be on them. So I was going to try and sneak out, like, at noon and go just join Mario. That didn't work out. Kept getting calls. People are asking the consultants all these questions, so it runs late. But then Mario, I had shared his beacon with us, so I looked at it, and it was really confusing because your beacon was 2 or 3 miles ahead of your real mileage. So I was tracking you, and I'm like, oh, crap. Like,
really?
There's no shot. But actually, I needed to do the math and minus 3 miles. And so the heat just was slowing him down a little bit, nothing bad, but I was like, I can maybe make this work. So I got off my call at like 3, and I think by like 3:10 I was on my way to Monty to meet up with Mario. It's like a 20-minute drive to his house, so I was there by 3:30. And I had 6 miles on the schedule, and I think he had 5 miles left. So I actually pulled up to his house right about the time he got home, and I did a little 3/4 mile kind of jog around his house while he got some water and just sat in AC for a little bit. And then we met up from his house and kind of did the last 5.
Okay. And you were able to keep up with them, Erik?
Yeah, I told you this
because
earlier.
normally, guys, Erik and I have a tough time keeping up with Mario. But if you're pacing him at the end of his 34 miles, Erik, right, a little easier to keep up with him at that point.
Erik
Yeah,
said
so
one of
I
the
joked
most
with Mario.
iconic. Yeah, go for it.
So Mario and I try to run together like once every other weekend. If we can link up every weekend, I mean, we try to always share a couple of miles, even if our training schedules don't align or whatever. Just 2-3 miles up to 15 probably. And he always has to wait for me, or we have to walk for me. And so on his birthday run, when I catch him 29 miles in, I was the fast one. I had to wait for him. So I joked with him like, "Oh, this is what it feels like on Saturdays when we run together."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I probably didn't laugh at the moment, but I've been thinking about that comment, and that makes me smile because it's at that point when Erik he met me at the perfect time. I had gone through a really long exposed area where there was boulevard trees, so they're like 8-10 foot trees that don't really have canopies, and it was the hottest part of the day, and I had ran out of water. My nutrition of choice was Nerds gummy clusters, sour strips that I had cut into pieces, and so at that point 5 hours of eating sour and crunchy candy essentially for fuel, my mouth was raw, so the fuel was harder to intake, and I really wanted to quit, to be honest, because it wasn't for anybody but me, and I had a lot of reasons why I could have quit. And then Erik calls me, he's like, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at mile 27. He's like, "What are you talking about?" Like my beacon is off of my phone, and my watch is the mileage that I'm tracking. That's the one that I care about. My phone could be whatever number. It was just to let people know where I was location wise, but it was about 2.5 or 3 miles ahead at that point.
How can it be ahead?
Come meet me.
How can it predict where? How can it be ahead though? How can your phone know where you're gonna go? I don't get this.
So this is actually interesting. So like when you do your Strava beacon, I always thought it went off your watch and just like broadcast it via your cell phone. I think Strava tracks you. And because like we talked about Saturday, Joey, our watches are using better GPS or even GNSS to triangulate your position better. Strava is just doing basic phone GPS, which if you've ever tried to survey grade anything off of a phone, it's 30 to 100 meters off. So I think it's just using that, and so it's way ahead of something that has good GPS to it. Yeah. Fun fact for runners who are sharing their Strava beacon.
How many? We'll get to that, Erik. Yeah, we'll compare our watch data from Saturday because that was interesting. So I love that, Erik. Maybe you took the video at the end. Claire and Roy were there to meet you at the end. That was so sweet. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great.
I was just pulling up my run on Strava here.
Yeah.
When Erik met me, that was mile 29.75. Okay, so I had, or 28.75. So I had 5 1/4 miles left. That's why he went out and did his 3/4 mile loop. But our average pace for those last 5 miles was 15:32 on really flat, not at all hilly pavement, and that had everything to do with the heat, but he really just showed up at quite literally the perfect time. And then we're coming down the road back to the house, and we're at the finish line, and I'm just like so relieved to be done. And my wife Claire and Roy were over at her sister's house, which is just down the road. She saw I was coming in, so she packed up Roy in the truck, and they turned the corner, and I said to Erik, I said, "Damn it, they're gonna make me cry." Like as soon as I saw the truck headlights, I just knew it. And I've had a couple videos of that, Roy running up to me when I'm running at the finish line. He helped me cross the Wild Duluth 50K finish line. Yeah, that was just a really, really cool moment, and it was so cool for Erik to capture that on video.
Yeah, all I could think about, we rounded that corner and I saw Roy and Claire running towards you, and Nick Bear paced Sally McRae at Western States 100 to the track. And they got to the track, and Mackenzie McRae started running with Sally, and Nick just ran off to the infield. And so Sally has this picture of her daughter and her crossing the Western States 100 finish line, and they did a podcast after, and Nick was just like, that was a moment I didn't need to be in. And we rounded that corner, and Mario said that, like, I'm going to cry, and Roy started running towards him, and I was like, this is a moment I don't need to be in, but, like, I know Mario's going to want, so I just pulled out my phone and recorded.
Yeah.
Mario, you got to tell the story about the truck water.
So
what's that?
Claire had to run home quick, and she was in the truck, and in the truck was this bottle of Smart Water, and I don't know how old this bottle of Smart Water was, but it had been in the truck, right? But it was all she had, and I didn't have anything left. I was basically out. She goes, it has electrolytes, you can try it, and I put that water in my mouth, and it was probably like 100 degrees.
Oh God.
I drank it. I'm like, oh no, you can have this back. And I handed it to her. I'm like, I really appreciate it, but it's not working right now.
Was it water that was already open, or?
Oh yeah. We got it for Roy probably the couple of days before it had just been in the truck.
Guys, never drink old water that you leave in your cars. I remember back in the day, I worked for Paul Walzer, and Denise, our comptroller. No, it wasn't her. It was somebody else we worked with in the corporate office. Had an old bottle of water in their car. Had been there for a week or something, and at one point forgot it was old, thought it was new, took a drink out of it, ended up in the hospital for a month. They got some kind of bacterial infection so bad they almost died during the hospital. So ever since that, I'm always like, oh, hell no, I'm not drinking that water. No, unless I know how old it is, where it came from. Yeah, never drink old water that's been in your car.
Mario's water was basically boiling, so it killed all the germs.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is that.
It was so warm.
Yeah. So what was your total time for your 34 miles?
7 hours, 17 minutes. Average was like 12:32 per mile. So there was a stretch there for really like the first 15 miles. I felt great. I felt awesome. There was kind of like a mixture of sun and clouds in the morning, and then I called my dad to bring me a bottle of water at the mile. It's like 15.3, and so he brought me a couple of bottles. I drank one 16-ounce bottle of water, and then I filled up my soft flask. I was going to run the hilly loop, so go up and over Monty Hill in town, which is like an 85-foot climb. And it's a pretty steep grade, especially when you're almost 17 miles into a race. And it was kind of cloudy and sprinkling then, so I felt really good. And then once I started going up that hill, the clouds kind of like moved on, and then the sun just came out in full force, and that's when I started to get grumpy. And I texted you guys that I'm having a pity party, because Erik texted me, slow down, I want to be able to run with you. And I was like, don't worry about that, I'm not doing good, and have potty pants about it. So I threw a little pity party walking up the hill, and I shared to my Instagram story that hill can go kick rocks, because that was the downturn. That's when it kind of, and I was just about the halfway point, and I knew it. I knew that as soon as that moment hit, it's not all downhill metaphorically, but you have less to go than you've been. But I knew it was going to be the hottest part of the day, and that hill just crushed my soul.
Did you have your route chosen? Because I was watching, I'm like, oh, he's just making this shit up. He's just, I'm gonna turn left here, I'm gonna go right here. I'm like, or did you have that whole route chosen? I'm like, because I don't know that area. I'm like, is he running on 94 on the interstate? Where the hell is he running?
So I live in Monticello. I grew up in Monticello, and I work for the city of Monticello. So I know the town really well, and not to the point where I can just make it up and go. But I know where the loops are and how far, because I've run across town and up and over the hill so many times. I know about how far it is from each spot. And so I kind of made it up. There's road construction going on in town that messed with. There's a neighborhood in town. I try to get to all the neighborhoods because all of them have sidewalks. So I try to hit as many neighborhoods as I can. And with the road construction, it kind of threw me off a little bit. And that's when it really went downhill. And I chose to take a road that just did not have very good protection from the sun. And it kind of cooked me.
So you got to 80 miles. That's a hell of a week. That's about 40 miles. Erik, I think I've run 45 maybe last year, 1 week. That was it. What's the most you've run in a week?
I got to 38 for Wild Duluth.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got to 45 last year and the year before I did Fire Tower. That's it. So you're twice as far as, and it just makes you think about these elites running 100, 150-mile weeks. You just kind of go, obviously you build that mileage up, but it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
But Mario and I talked about that when we were actually running. I don't remember if you remember this, Mario, but
I do.
We were talking about they run 7-minute pace on an easy run, or like 7:30 pace. So for them to go hit 15 miles a day to get to a 100-mile week is an hour 30.
Yeah.
Like for me to go run 15 miles a day is a 2 to 3 hour commitment. I mean, closer to 3 than 2, obviously. So that's just, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have 21 hours of my week to dedicate unless I want to do less at work, less at home, or less sleep, and I'm not willing to sacrifice any of that. So,
right. So next year, 35 miles is that going to be the plan?
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about this, like people are telling you. Here's what I'm thinking, and you tell me. I think when you turn, well, you can decide, like 40 or 50. I'm thinking, if you make it up to 50 miles at 50, I mean, that's very feasible. I'm 57. I don't know if I can run 57 miles, but, well, sure I could. Absolutely I could. It would take me probably a day and a half. But here's what I'm thinking. You turn 50, every year you do 1 mile less. So when you turn 51, you run 49. So it's always 100. So like, you know what I mean? So that way, 100 is a nice, 3-digit, boy, if you can get to 100, that's pretty freaking good. And if you're running 1 mile when you turn 99, that's pretty good. When you turn 100, all bets are off. Start at 50 again. I don't care. But when you turn 50, that's it. And then you start going, because 49 is still a lot of miles to run at 51. And when you turn 60, you're still trying to run a 40-mile a day. So, and when you turn 70, you're running a 30-mile a day. It's like, dude, that's still a lot.
That's a lot.
You can even flip the switch at 40 too, and go till you're 80. But
well, and the thing about that is, and you mentioned it, it's that time commitment to running that distance, within a week. I really value my family time. That's always my top priority. And I think I sent this to you guys in a text on Friday. It was unbearably hot on Friday after I did this run. And sure, I could have gone out and slogged for a few miles, but I got to sit in the pool and watch my son run and jump, and we played in the sprinkler, and we ran around the yard. I was still moving. I think I still had like 12,000 steps the next day. So it's not like I took the day off really. I was still a full-time dad. And that was kind of the decision during the hot weekend, because he was already feeling kind of cooped up. We could only be outside for so long. And so, I had the couple of days off, and he's like, how come Dad's spent half of his day off gone running, actually my entire day off, gone running. And so I wanted to take the time to be with my family. So, the time that it would have taken me, I would have had to take probably another 6-7 hours to run that. What was it? 21, 22 miles probably would have taken me 5 hours or so.
Yeah. What do you, I mean, you set a goal, I know, but it's like, what, what,
but it's a goal that it was a selfish goal that I'll get to it for sure.
Yeah.
I know I will.
Yeah. Do it in the fall when it's not 100 degrees out.
Or do it when my son gets a little older and is out running and playing with friends on the weekends, Right now, I'm the dad's the coolest thing to walk planet Earth, so I'm going to take advantage of him still thinking that.
There you go. You guys are both such great dads. I love that. Yeah, Jason Reeve and I were texting. Well, yeah, you guys are awesome. Jason Reeve and I were texting this weekend, and we're both like, yeah, we're freaking done. We're not running races in the summer anymore. We'll get to that. We're like, no, never July, like September. We stop at June. We go again in September. That's it. So, Erik, that's a good transition for us. So Erik and I ran together on Saturday at the Afton State Park, just east of the Twin Cities on the St. Croix. The Afton 25K, not the 50K that Jason did. And let me pull up the stats here on the race. It's a rock steady running. We love rock steady running. John Storkamp. I'm trying to think. I have not done the fall Superior races, either any of those. I have done, now I've attempted Zumbro. I've done the Spring Superior. I've done Afton. I haven't done any of the endless summer ones. And what else? What else does he do? And he does the fall Superior one. Maybe that's it. But so this one is 25K, so about 15 and a half miles, right? Elevation gain 2,300 feet, which is about 300 feet less than what my watch said, and about actually my watch said 2,000 feet, so 300 feet more. Your watch said how many feet, Erik?
2,700.
Yeah, so about 300 feet less than what your watch says, and 300 feet more than mine. 5 aid stations, 8-hour cutoff. And I run at Afton, not a lot, but that's where I ran with Troy Meadows a while ago. And it's a nice, and it's like I told Erik, I said it kind of reminds me of Murphy Hanrahan, where you've got these prairie areas that are kind of the horse trail, double track. Some of them are gravelly, some of them are grassy. And then you've got these, not gnarly, but you've got these, actual climbs. And so it can be challenging. I had my poles with and all of that. So race day. So by the way, Mario, where the hell were you? You were supposed to be there, right?
I was.
Do you not remember? Do we need to play back Crew Access Volume 2?
I know, it's even live.
Erik goes, podcast. I'm running Afton, and what? What'd you say?
So I was in Cross Lake. So it was, I Googled it. It was a 3-hour drive from where we were at the cabin to Afton.
We just said we were going to give you shit because the last time the three of us were together, I thought the three of us made a blood pledge. I guess, it wasn't that bloody. But so anyway, so I'm not trained at all with all the stuff with Ricky and our house and work. I mean, I've been doing a little better the past couple of weeks. Erik, you've been pretty good with your training, and Mario, obviously you're running 80 miles and pretty consistent. I was not trained, so I was hoping the weather would at least be good. And I don't know. I guess it could be worse. I mean, we got there and it's pouring rain. Like, it's sprinkling, and Erik and I went and got our bibs, and it poured like holy crap. Like, I was like, oh, we don't need to go in the tent. And I'm like, oh my God, there's like a flood coming. I mean, it was pouring, and then it let up a little bit, and I was like, I don't know. I thought, here's what I thought before the race. I thought, Erik, I know you thought 4 to 4.5 hours for you, which is probably about accurate. I slowed you down. We'll get to that. But I knew, like, with my training, I thought, probably 5 hours. I know that course. And I wasn't anticipating all the mud. I wasn't anticipating all the rain. And I wasn't anticipating, it wasn't that hot. What did it get to, 80 something? maybe 84.
My Strava says 82, but 91%
Okay.
humidity.
Yeah, 91% humidity, guys. So when it was rain, so I don't know. Should we talk about my day and then we'll talk about your day, Erik?
Yeah, I want
So
to hear how the day went from your perspective, and then I'll
okay,
give my perspective.
perfect. So yeah, we start out and we're clicking along. I brought the camera with, so I do some filming. And I don't know, we're with a big pack of people. So for the first mile, you can't really run. Once you get to a point where you can run, I'm like, okay, we're running all the downhills. Um, and we're hiking the uphills, and we'll just see where we go from there, see how we feel. And feel pretty good. With the rain, it was kind of cooling us off, keeping us, and we were passing people. Like that first aid station, the one we hit it, and then we hit it on the way back after we go through that trout, whatever they call that area, that Trout Brook, whatever. And we're passing people. I'm like, Erik, we're not going to be back of the pack. I'm bummed. We're passing people, and I'm feeling good. I was like, let's hit this section. Let's go. There's like this really fun little flat section after you come down into Trout Brook, and it's going great. It's going really good. And we got to that aid station, left it, and still feeling pretty good. It starts getting really slippery though. Now it's like we're trying to climb out of some of these areas, and then you get out on the prairie, and it's just muck. It looks like Erik's newborn's diapers. It's just solid muck. I mean, we were even joking about that. We were talking about changing diapers. We'll get to that. But I'm like, ugh. But still feeling pretty good, right? And then the rain stopped. And it was like, okay, all right, no rain. And then it just got more humid and more humid. And we got to mile, what is that, Erik? Mile 6.5. So that's aid station 3/4, because he hit it again 4 miles later.
Yep.
And we get to aid station 3, and I'm like, I got to switch all this shit out of my pack because I have all of my gels in the back of my backpack. I can't get to it. So every aid station, I'm having to take my pack off. So I'm like, F this. So I'm pulling my pack off. All my shit's flying all over the place. I'm trying to get, we probably spent 10 minutes there. Erik's just laughing at me. I mean, he wasn't laughing at me. Inside he was. I could tell you were laughing at me inside.
You also lost
I'm
your
just
phone.
like, what? So then all my shit's all over the place. I'm trying to get my stuff to the front of the pack, and poor aid station worker's like, can I help you? I'm like, no, I'm helpless. I don't know what I'm doing here. And finally get my pack all adjusted, and I've got the frickin' poles and the quiver on, so it's all, a mess to get the pack back on. And I get my pack on, and I'm like, where the bleep is my phone? Because I had my phone in a Ziploc bag. I always keep it on the left side of my pack. And I'm always like, and so then I start thinking, I dropped it somewhere in the mud. It's in the mud. It's gone. So I'm like, oh shit. So I can take the whole pack off again, start going through everything. Well, I've thrown it in the back of my pack accidentally now. So I'm like, oh God, I finally get that on. Well, it must have been 15 minutes there. It must have been 10 to 15 minutes at that aid station, which was ridiculous because I didn't need anything more than a quick refill of my bottle. So I'm like, sorry. We finally get going, and still going pretty good. We climbed up that hill. We get out on the prairies, doing okay. I think after Erik, when we got down to the river there, that one section, in the very northeast part of the course, we come down to the river, and we do a little section along there. As we turned for that and started going back up, I think that hill killed me. Like I said, I'm getting hot. I'm getting humid. And then you climb this hill right before the aid station, 2 miles before. You climb back up. And each of those climbs is, what do we think, 200-300 feet, something like that, 250?
That one's almost exactly 300 feet and lasts for about half a mile.
I think that was the worst one of the day. And maybe because I was overheating so bad, it was so humid. And I was just like, holy God.
And it was pure mud. You had to, mud. When you climb a hill cross-country skiing, you, cookie cutter, kind of.
Flat-footed.
Yeah, duck foot your way up. You had to. And I was just searching for roots the whole way up, so you at least had a step.
Yeah.
Like if your foot was going to slip, it's only going to slip an inch kind of deal. It was bad.
Normally we hate rocks and roots, but it's like, boy, I could sure use some. And I had the poles. I was so tired I couldn't reach to my quiver to grab my effing poles. And the gloves. I was overheating so bad. I'm like, I gotta take these gloves off. They're so hot. My hands are burning. So I didn't have my gloves on, so I couldn't even hold the poles, the new Lecky poles. We'll get to them. But so we get up the hill and I'm like, I gotta have a break. I'm like, I gotta ice down when we get to that aid station. Yeah. We get to the aid station and I'm like, I need a chair. And that aid station worker, I mean, these guys are great. They really are. He's like, he's like, you're in trouble. What do you need? I'm like, I need to cool off. And Erik, of course, Erik is like, he's done. He's all filled up. He's just, he's like hanging out. I felt so bad. But he's like, he's icing me down. He's filling me up with water. He's like, what do you need? I'm like, I got to cool off. He's like, I can feel the heat coming off of your body. He's like, I can literally feel, I was like, and I got a little dizzy going up that hill too. So I'm like, I don't know. Can you get heat stroke when it's just humidity? I have no idea, but my body was overheating and I really needed to cool down. Finally did. I suppose I spent another 10 plus minutes at that aid station, 10 or 15 minutes, just cooling off, getting everything refilled. And then I told Erik, I'm like, I'm done. I'm walking it. I said, you just run, just go, go hit the podium, go. You don't wait for me. But he did. So we walked most of it. And I did have a couple of spurts of jogging after that, but I just didn't, my heart rate, that was the other thing. I was overheating so bad. We slowed down to a 20-minute pace walking. My heart rate was still 161. Really? I was like, that's not good. Got up to 174, I think is my peak. And guys, I'm 57 years old. I should not be having 174 heart rates at any point. So then, there's that flat section. It's a mile and a half long before you get to Meat Grinder. We should have been frickin' just running that. We would have made up 20 minutes plus there just running it, but I couldn't run. I was like, I can run, but as soon as I do, I'm going to overheat and then I'm going to be done. So we got to Meat Grinder, and you know what? Meat Grinder didn't grind our meat. My meat was fine. How was your meat? It was like, because I've done Meat Grinder, and it's tough. It's a climb, but it's like, no, that one before probably mile 8, before aid station number 4, that was the worst climb of the day by far. And the second worst is the one right before the end, because you're so freaking tired. You want to be done. Mm-hmm. It's muddy, and it's just like, this is not ending. It's like, where is this? Where's the crest? But so we got through it. That last, 4 miles or 5 miles, it was fine. I was able to jog a little bit, and we did at times. But my goal is 5 hours. We finished at 5:02. So Erik tried to get me there. We were like 3 minutes from the finish line, and Erik's like, "We got to run," and I'm like, "You run. I can't run." I think I jogged a little right at the end, but yeah, 5:02. It's fine. It's fine. So that was my day. Lessons learned. I won't run in the heat again. If I did, ice bandana. Erik, we just watched Western States. How did we effing not have some ice bandanas? Because that's what Jason Reeve did. He had an ice bandana all day long.
And I had the same thought after I did that 34 miler. Why didn't I bring an ice bandana or some way to cool topically? I didn't think of that until it's that, hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah. When I did the fans, it got up to like 80 degrees and it's pretty exposed and it's on pavement and I was hot. But what I did was every mile there was an aid station every mile, including like my stop, poured water down the back of my neck like a little mini ice bandana every mile. I just did that and I drank a shit ton and I was absolutely fine. Nothing like I was on Saturday. Saturday I was cooked. I literally cooked like I've not been cooked in a while. Yeah, so that was my day, and I didn't get any cramps on the course. However, I'm interested to hear your side of this, Erik. On the way home and for the rest of that evening, my toes and fingers would not stop cramping. I'm like trying to eat a cheeseburger. I'm trying to like use my phone, and then my toes are cramping. That happened to me before at Backcountry Rise too, where my extremities all just started cramping after the race. So I imagine that's a symptom of dehydration or overheating. I have no idea.
I did
Erik,
not get that.
tell me about your day.
Yeah.
And why were you such a good sport and not leave me in the dust?
So I wasn't at Afton to run Afton. I can go to Afton State Park and run that course whenever.
Yeah.
I don't. Rocksteady running puts on great events, but that course isn't spectacular. Like, it's not like you have to go here for the views, you have to do this. John puts on a good event. You have grade A medical care, you have grade A aid stations. It's really well run. You're never going to get in trouble, really. I mean, the longest aid station was 4 miles, and that was the stretch that Joey got overheated. And like, you never were at a point where we're like, holy crap! Like, it was just we have a mile to an aid station.
Unless you slip and dislocate your shoulder.
True.
Evidently, some lady right behind us, because we got to aid station. I'll let you keep going. Sorry to interrupt. We got to aid station 2. So like you go to the first one, then you go around, you hit it again. And they're like, did you see the lady? We're like, I was like joking. I'm like, no, we're going so fast. We're past everybody. We must have passed her. Some lady slipped and like dislocated her shoulder in the mud. So anyways, back to your point.
But even then, they had people on their way out to her. So
Yeah.
But like
right.
Afton itself isn't a race that I'm dying to run. I've already run it once. I had my experience. It was more just like originally all 3 of us were going to go. But but I was just there to run with you, Joey. Like to just have a fun day as friends and have a day. Like I didn't, whatever. So that's why I was a good sport. I was there to run together, so I'm not going to run ahead and do whatever. I didn't have a time goal. I didn't care. It wasn't an A race. It wasn't even really a B race. It was just a day with a friend. So, we get there in the morning. You park at Afton Alps, and they're like, oh, it's a 10 to 15 minute walk to the start line. And I was like, that's fine, whatever. It's all uphill. Like the longest climb of the day was from the parking lot to the start line.
I know. I told you, I'm like, what? It's a hell of a warm up. I guess my calves and my hamstrings are all warmed up now.
No, for real, because I was like starting to climb up, and I was like, ooh, I'm a little tight, because I hadn't run Friday or Thursday, just kind of a mini taper. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should have run yesterday. And then by the time we started the race, I was like, oh, I actually feel kind of good.
Yeah, I did too.
We get there, and Joey and I meet up, and it's sprinkling, and then all of a sudden it's just downpouring. And then Joey's like, I didn't eat breakfast. I gotta go try and see if they have a banana or something for me to eat. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll like meet up with you when we're both done with our things. So I come back, and he's like, oh, they didn't have bananas, but I got some of this aid station stuff. This story comes into play later. So the race starts. I mean, we were doing really well through the first whatever.
We were passing people. I was like, holy crap. I thought, the mud is slowing people down, and we're feeling good. Like, we're like clicking them off.
Yeah, honestly, the sketchiest parts of the day were the downhills, which is usually where you make up time at Afton. But it was like some of the mud would be tacky and like good grip, and the other part of the mud you'd go to push off, and you're flying off into a ravine. So you had to be kind of really careful on the downhills. But yeah, we were hiking the uphills well.
Erik was Caleb, and I was Seth. We were just clicking off people one after the other,
Yeah, and so the first aid station we got to, I think we both just filled water bottles. Left out of there, no big deal. Clicked off some more miles, got to the second aid station, same thing, just fill some water bottles and go. Nothing super remarkable, and then we get to the climb at mile 6.5 or whatever. No, mile 8.5.
I'm also looking at your Strava while we're talking about
Okay.
it.
So we get to the climb at mile 8.5, and it's like serious. I mean, it's a long sustained climb, pretty decent grade, and there's just no footing, like none. It's mud, and so you're going and you're having to work. And Joey and I started relatively together, and then I kind of started gapping him, like not intentionally. I'm just like going up it, and I look back, and he's like 10 feet behind, and then 20 feet behind, and then 10 meters behind. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you know, whatever. And he's just like, I'm so hot. I'm so hot. And we get to the top of the climb, and there's a bench. He's like, I have to sit here. I was like, okay. So we sat at the bench, and he's like, my heart rate's 181.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah, let's just like sit here, like get our composure. Because straight after that, the other thing, so it rained the first couple miles. Then when the rain stopped, not only is it humid, but we're now at the part of the course that's like along the river, and it's Afton is kind of a mini wet, like a very mini western, but you're down in these full vegetation valleys. So all that humidity is just sitting there, and all this vegetation has now fresh, like moisture in it. So it kind of did feel like you were in a sauna. It was just gross. It was like wet. It was so humid. But so we get to the top of the climb. We sit on this bench. Joey's like, okay, I'm down to like 160, 150. Let's just walk it into the next aid station. I got to get some cooling. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Like, all good. Okay, I didn't tell you this, but in my head, Joey, so like a quarter mile after that climb, maybe, there's a outhouse on the left. And Joey like ducked in there. He's like, I gotta use this outhouse.
Yeah.
And I was like, he didn't say like one or two what he was doing. And I was like, oh man, like so many people die on the toilet from heart attacks because they feel like they have to poop. So in my head, I was like, he gets 5 minutes and then I'm knocking on that door.
And I'm not busting the door down.
But he was in and out in like 30 seconds, so it wasn't like a big worry. But that was my inner monologue. I was like, I'm going to lose Joey to a heart attack at Afton. This is horrible.
On the shitter at Afton. Oh my God.
What a way to go.
Oh, that is amazing. I love that.
But so then he popped out, and honestly from there we actually ran into the 10.5 mile aid station because it was that nice flowy downhill. So we had some nice pace into there. And then we got there.
We did 15-minute miles on that into that aid station is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Between 9 and 10, 15:32 is our time, and 22-minute miles because that's starting to hit the aid station. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, we got in there, and the aid station worker was phenomenal. You could tell he was experienced. He was pouring water on Joey. Yeah. He's getting him ice. He's like, what can I do? What can I do? Like, just sit here. Let's get you some more water. Let's get some ice in your hat. Yeah. Really, really good care. Like, that's why you do Rocksteady running races, right? Like, that's why you would ever go back to Afton. It's just, they're world-class events. So, so then, we hit the flat part, and Joey's like, you can just run. Like, you don't have to wait for me. And I was like, I'm here for, like, you. Like, you're the only reason I'm at Afton 25K today. So we just walked, and we had a good time, but we kept leapfrogging with this old lady.
The banana lady?
Yeah. So, about mile 8, I think, Joey, we were going down into like a wooded area, and you're like, Erik, I'm gonna grab some footage, just like jog ahead, I'll catch up to you. And so I passed this lady, I don't remember her name. I don't know that we ever got it actually, but I jogged past her, and she was calling Joey Banana Boy all day.
I was calling her Banana Lady.
Yeah. She's like, where's Banana Boy at? So when it was raining out and I had gone to the bathroom, Joey had gone to find a banana, and under the tent was like the finish line aid station for the 50K people, or the finish line, like they did pizza for the 25K and had like LaCroix and pop and everything. Well, she had been like standing in an area that Joey thought she was an aid worker.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you have any bananas? She turned around and like showed him her bib. She's like, you think I'm working here?
And my response to her was, I don't care if you're working here or not. Did you bring any bananas? And that started it all. Yeah, she was banana lady. I was banana boy. That's too freaking funny.
So on the flat,
I can't believe she said that too.
Yeah. So on the flat part, we caught back up to banana lady, but then she was still jogging, whatever. But yeah, we're walking, talking, got to meat grinder. Meat grinder, I think, is honestly, I think because you're so mentally prepared for it, it's the easiest climb. Like, it's so sold as such a hard climb. It's up, but it's the shortest climb, and it's not that much steeper than the other climbs.
Remember, we're walking along the Mississippi, and I said, all day long we're averaging 18-minute pace with my extended stops at aid stations. That's what we averaged when we were walking. I said we're doing 18 miles an hour or 18-minute miles walking, so we're fine. Up meat grinder, 23-minute pace. So we didn't, and that includes stopping at that aid station. So we didn't really drop that much there. So
no.
I mean, if we could have run that section, I mean, I would have slowed you down, but I still think I could have got done in 4.5 hours if I'd had a better day. But you would have been done in 4 hours, and Mario would have been done in 3. So we don't know that, but yeah.
And then so we get done with that. We climb meat grinder. Then the next aid station we get to, and Dave Shannon that Joey talks about in Med at Zumbro is one of the aid station workers. So I got to meet him, and that was really cool. And we got ice freezies on our way out of that aid station, which was good. Heaven sent.
Heaven.
So from the, I think it's 12.5 mile aid station, I had run when I went out to Afton in June. I had done from the finish line to meat grind. Well, I was trying to get to meat grinder, but I made some navigation errors and I had a finite amount of time. So I'd made it to basically where that aid station was and then back to the finish line.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're fresh and you're only doing 6.5, 7 miles, I was like, Joey, there's nothing hard on this section. It's so easy. Don't even worry about it. All the climbs are steep, but only 50 feet. No big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's mostly true, except for I forgot about this climb at mile 14, just before mile 14.
Yeah.
I'm looking
at the elevation.
It's 14 and a half.
14 and a half. I'm looking at it. Oh my God.
It never ended. It's honestly, looking at the Strava profile, it's not that bad. It never ended. It just didn't end.
It just doesn't end.
The whole time in my head, I'm like, I'm such a jackass. I just told this guy there's nothing hard. And a couple of 50K, the high end 50K runners are catching up to us now. And they're literally stopping on the middle of the hill, F this hill. And oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. And dying. And I'm like, oh man, I said there's
Erik,
nothing hard.
You were me when my wife and I were climbing out of the Grand Canyon. Cause I was like, oh shit, I told Erin this is only so many miles. And she's, yeah. No, it was fine. It was just we'll get down here eventually.
But we made it up that hill pretty good. And then we got to once you're out of that last valley, you're kind of back at the prairie level and there's some dips and dives and you're at the finish line. So I'm like, okay, we're going to take a left here and then we're going to run. And Joey's like, okay. I take the left and I'm like, we can still go sub 5 hours. Which I didn't know how motivated Joey was to do that, but in my head, I'm like, I'm going to get him to sub 5 hours. So I take off. I ran a 9:45 pace for 50 meters, and I look back, and Joey's just where I started running at. I was like, okay, I'll just stop and wait for him.
Yeah.
So then we walked till we could see there's a couple yellow flags 50 meters from the finish line. So we walked till there and then ran it in. But I
felt bad because it wasn't my body. I wasn't cramping. It was literally the sun had started to come out at that point too. So we were humid and now the sun's out and I'm like, God, will the heat never end? If we would have had a breeze, I was like, give me something. My body just would not how when your body overheats, you just can't get it into that gear to go at a faster pace. I was like, shit, I just couldn't run, but at the end of the day, my goal was 5 hours. We finished 5:02. I know we could have done better, especially based on our early pace, but I'm like, I still don't feel bad about it. It's
no,
finish is a
that
finish.
was that was the most fun race day experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because usually I go in with a goal and I try to chase that goal, and it's like at all costs. So like we chatted with everyone we came across. We joked with everyone. We chatted with everyone. We chatted with the aid station workers. And like usually it's like, here's the paces I need to hit this section of the course. I get into the aid station. I get my water bottles filled. I thank the aid station workers, and I'm gone. And like it was so different.
It's same for me. Same for me, because I felt no pressure, and it was so fun to just visit with you all day and visit with everybody there. The cutoff for the 25K is 8 hours. I'm like, more than enough time. I think like the last people to finish were well under cutoff, like 6-something hours. We thought we'd be closer up. We weren't. We were like 15th from the end, but that's fine. But yeah, a great day, just totally relaxing, because I knew I didn't have to hit a cutoff. I knew we could just do whatever, and it was a blast. Like you said, it was like there was no pressure, because like Zumbro, I liked Zumbro, but then my knee blew up, and it's like I have 11 hours. So you have to get done like 4.5 hours that first loop to have enough time. This one was like, screw it. We only have to do one loop. So the people doing the 50K, they got 4 hours to do the first loop. That's it. 4 hours.
That's it.
And a lot of them were 4 hours.
That's a tight cutoff.
So like a lot, isn't it? So then they get 5 hours to do the second loop. I'm like, why the hell is his cutoff so tight? I wonder if he has permits or some kind of issues.
Could be a permit issue. Well, and actually, I was going to say that the 9-hour cutoff might be a good segue into future races, because at the end of August, I'm going to Colorado to do the Continental Divide Trail Run, the 50K.
Yeah.
That one has a 9-hour cutoff as well.
No, it does not. No.
It does.
What?
It does. I was looking at it. I was going to pull it up here. It might make my internet go a little goofy.
Okay. All right. While you're pulling that up, the 50K racers had only 4 hours to complete that first lap. And if you look at the results, a lot of DNFs of people who got cut off, who didn't make the cutoff. Our buddy, Jason Reeve, he and I were texting. He finished the first loop. He was running with his buddy, John. I don't know if you know John Elbert. I don't know him or not. I think I might follow him on Strava, but I don't know him real well. But so Jason and John were running, and they finished with 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And they were like, oh, shit. And he said the same thing we did, Eric. He said he was having a great day. They started an hour before we did, so, light rain, not as hot. He said once they got close to finishing that first loop and the rain stopped, he said he was done. He was cooked. It was so humid. He had ice bandanas he was doing all day long, filling them with ice. He said he still is like all he could do. He said they got done with 12 minutes to spare in that first loop, and they were debating, going out for the second one. They did, and it took him over 8 hours. So he was about 50 minutes from cutoff. And, Jason's pretty fast. His comment to me, okay, I got to read you what was his exact words? I feel more beat up from Afton than I did from 100 miles at Zumbro. He goes, I enjoyed the rain on the first lap, but once that stopped and it got humid, I was zapped. I've never been so close to dropping. Made it out with 12 minutes to spare. Yeah, he said the ice bandana was his saving grace. He's like, never again. Focusing on fall spring races from now on. And there was a lot of comments. I was on Strava. If you guys, follow people on Strava who did the race, who did the 50K, they were all like, oh my God, what a horrible day. It was just gnarly. I mean, it was gnarly, slippery, muddy, and then the humidity. It wasn't even like a cold mud. Yeah. I did Spring Superior one year when it was really muddy. And, that's muddy, mucky, whatever. But guys, it's 50 degrees out. It's, At the end of the day, you're like, yeah, it was a little muddy, but it was fine. But no, it was bad. It's a challenge. So if you want a challenge, if you are an athlete, sign up for the 50K. Do that in July. You get 9 hours, and you better be ready to hit it. And bring your ice bandana, for God's sake. So I probably won't be doing Afton again. So, but that's fine. I'm glad I did
one and done.
I would, you know what I would probably do is go volunteer next year, be an aid station worker. I would gladly go out there and be an aid station worker. It's just too hard in the heat to run. So my next race is not till September. Erik,
which race is that?
You Mammoth Trail Fest.
Oh, that's right.
You may have heard me talk about it. My last guest,
I did.
He's involved with the race. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tim Tollison or not. But yeah, he lost his mind for a moment, decided to be on the podcast.
When you texted
he's the nicest guy.
He was a guest on your podcast, I fangirled to my wife so hard. I said, Claire, you are never going to believe who Joey just interviewed for the podcast. Like I was.
And she said, who the hell is Tim Tollison? Like my wife did.
She is so cool. She's so supportive. Yeah. She goes, that is really cool for you. I love that for you.
Yeah. You can't make it up. He was just absolutely the nicest. Just I couldn't be more thrilled. So my next my next person I'm going to try to get top secret, is I want to get Jamil Curry on because he finished in the golden hour for Western States. And here's the other reason, because for Cocodona this year, he had, not Drew. Well, Drew was helping too, but what's the Dylan? Was it Dylan? The filmmaker who did the film last year did one at the back of the pack and filmed Tony. So I want to talk to Jamil about being a back of the packer, filming the back of the pack for the Cocodona 250 and get his take on that and just say, what's it feel like to come in golden hour after, being an elite athlete for most of your career? So Jamil Curry. Yeah. I got to find his email address and try to ping him. Yeah. Dave Shannon at the aid station. I said, Dave, my guest this week was Tim Tollison. He's like, I come on the pod. Great. I'll schedule you. Yeah. So anyways, Mario, let's get back to, upcoming races. I'm not doing anything till September, with my buddy Tim. I will have my Running with Ricky shirt. Like Mario's got he's got a different Ricky. I've got one. I think I told you guys. Yep. Very nice. With a picture of my beautiful, precious Ricky, and I'll give the listeners an update on that for people who don't know. But so I'll have that shirt on. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. There's just going to be a ton of people there. But so that's my next one. I don't think I'm going to do anything before then, guys. I am going to seriously buckle down and try to get some actual training in. It's my house is going to be a mess, tore up with the kitchen stuff, but treadmill, outside, whatever I can do, I'm going to try to get going. Mario, race in Colorado. What's it called?
It's called the Continental Divide Trail Run. They have a 50K, a 16-mile, and an 8-mile option. I'll be running with my brother Luke.
When is it?
It'll be August 23rd, so the same day that Erik's going to be in Mindy Creek.
Oh, okay. So you guys will be running on the same day. So this is your brother Luke, who lives out in Colorado.
Yep. Yeah, he lives in Colorado Springs. And the race is in Steamboat Springs, so it's a ways from Colorado Springs. Okay. It's kind of north central Colorado. We're gonna road trip out there and stay in an Airbnb right on the ski resort, so we'll be able to walk to the start line at 6 a.m. When the race starts. And
you are doing the
50K. So it'll be Luke's first 50K and my first true mountain 50K.
This is Luke's first 50K.
It is, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's a 50K. You get 9 hours? Who is running this? Is this like, oh my God.
So
what
masochist
is running this?
7 hours to get to mile 22.
Okay.
That's the cutoff for the Mount Werner aid station, and that has to do. So it's because of the remoteness. So at this race, it runs up the ski resort at the Steamboat Springs ski resort. There, you run up the hill, up and over. You hit 10,000.
The escarpment.
Yes, you run up and over 10,000 feet. 10,420 feet is the high point. Most of the course is above 10,000 feet. And it's just roughly 31 miles. So
most of the course is above 10,000 feet. And what's your total elevation gain?
Gain and loss is 5,500 feet. So you start at 7,400, I think. So you climb up about 3,000 feet in the first 7 miles, and then you kind of go up and down a little bit out to Long Lake.
Oh my God.
Turn around and come back down. So I think their idea is that by the time you hit the Mount Werner aid station, I have before. Never an ultra distance though. I've been out to Colorado a couple times with my brother, and we have run up to, I think we did a 10-mile run. My cousin lives in Erie, Colorado, and after my brother was in a car accident, I flew out there to visit with him for a while, and I snuck away early mornings and went into Boulder and ran up the Flatirons, and yeah, I could feel the elevation, but at the same time, I don't have a super fast goal. My goal is to finish and to get my brother across the finish line. So, the goal will just be to get done in 9 hours. And he's a pretty good runner. He'll downplay it. He'll downplay it for sure. He's much like me.
I follow him on Strava. He's pretty quick from what I've seen as workouts. 9 hours to
finish.
Gain 5,000 feet and you start at 7,000, but you're over 10,000. Oh my God.
Yeah. I have a theory. I don't know if it's going to work, but while I'm running, I've been imagining when you're running at elevation like that, they always say it feels like you're breathing through a straw, right? And so what I've been doing is just while I'm running, I will breathe in like I'm breathing through a straw for as long as I can until usually it's 9 or 10 strides, sometimes more. And then I release it all and try to catch my breath, almost like a Wim Hof breathing method a little bit while I'm running to simulate trying to reoxygenate my blood with what I have available. So it's different because it comes back faster here than it will at elevation, but without having a hyperbaric chamber or being able to run on hills that are miles long, that's as best as I could come up with. So I don't know if it's going to work, but that's what I'm going to try. So I've taken a little bit from you, Erik, and I haven't been recording them, but I have my treadmills right here next to me, and I jack it up to, what does it go to, 12% or 15? So I jack it up as high as I can, and after my run is done, I'll walk uphill for about 10 minutes, just to simulate that running and pushing off that I can't really practice here outside. So I have been utilizing the treadmill, and I haven't been recording it because most of the time I'm just looking at Strava on my phone or looking at funny reels on Instagram to send you guys. So after my run, while I'm cooling down and still sweating, and that's the other thing, I want to do it while I'm still warm. And I've thought about trying to do that, starting it before I go run, but once I get out the door, I just want to go. I don't want to have to load everything up and start walking uphill and then go. It's harder with, being a parent and having other responsibilities. So,
Erik, you're doing the half marathon, and that's up at St. Croix Falls, right?
Yeah, that's right across the river from Taylor's Falls.
From Taylor's Falls.
Yep.
Did you ever figure out? Remember, they posted something on Facebook. Oh, a big ultra coming. So I messaged them. I'm like, can you give me some details? I'm trying to plan. And, they ghosted me. I heard nothing back. Whatever happened with that?
They haven't posted anything since. So I would have to guess it's going to be a late fall something. but
or they didn't get their permits or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Huh. Crazy.
I don't know. I'm excited for it, though. I love that area. And you hit the Ice Age trail for like a couple miles of it. So I think it'll be fun. It's half marathon, 1,100 feet of gain, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I think we might make a day out of it. My family might come, and then we'll go to Fonda Rosa in Wisconsin, for those who are familiar.
I don't know Fonda Rosa. Tell me more.
It's like a high fence petting zoo. So they have deer that like live there, and you can, for like $5, you can get a bucket of feed and feed like deer. Like they walk up to you and feed you. You can feed them right out of your hand, and they have goats and elk and ducks and whatever. And we took my oldest there once, and he absolutely loved it. So probably go there and then hit some ice cream in Taylor's Falls and make it so it's not just Dad disappearing off into the world on another Saturday.
Nice. All right. So I've got a few more topics for us. I wanted to talk a little bit about Western states. Erik and I were talking about this, Mario, during the run on Saturday. Just some, if you guys watched it or heard the reports or listened to it, there was some surprises. I had a few people that I just kind of wanted to talk about that I thought were kind of nice stories. Just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. But what I was telling Erik was, Seth Ruling, we all follow him, the Boulder Boys. He, just love that he dyed his hair for it. And, that he just doesn't take it too seriously. But yet, he was training hard. And I listened to his download on the Boulder Boys podcast of how his day went. And it was pretty interesting. But he, I'm really proud of him. He had to hit a point where he was like, I'm done. I'm walking. Eventually he starts running again. And so he walked for like a half an hour. They just walked when he was with Adam, and he's like, I'm done. And then eventually starts running again. He still finishes under 15 hours. He comes in 6th place, but he still is faster than, was it Drew who took 3rd? And I forget what Matt came in, but he still has the fastest time of all those guys in the race.
Yeah, he walked for 30 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy. So here's some of my thoughts that on the men's side, I've got a lot of respect for Kilian Jornet. That dude is 37. He hung with all these young studs. He played the game. He was right there, and he probably should have, started kicking it up a little sooner. But I don't know if he would have caught Caleb, because Caleb was being Caleb and running really fast. But Kilian Jornet, if that point. Yeah, Chris Meyer said if that race was a mile longer, Chris would have come in 3rd, because Kilian was closing that fast. That's incredible. This is a guy who is king of the mountains, and this is not what he does. This is not his style of race, but he is so smart, and he trains so well, and he knows exactly what his body can do, and he's learned how to handle the heat. I really hope him and Jim come back next year, because I think that would be really fun. The first time he ran the race, guys, he came in 3rd, and the next year he won. So he came in 3rd this year, so he comes back next year and he wins. That's what I would like, under 14 hours. I think he could do under 14 hours if he plays everything right. I think next year they got to go under 14 hours. So I love that story. I like Seth coming under 15. Chris Myers, I was not surprised by Caleb Olson. We all talked about him. He had the fastest rookie. He was under 15 hours last year. Super fast. He won Transvolcania this year. That did not surprise me. Chris Myers, I know the guy's name. I know he's won races, but I was like, what? He was the dark horse. He, came out of nowhere. He was pretty amazing.
The snorkel at Rucky Chucky's a legendary move too.
Yes, the snorkel. And then my guy, Ryan Montgomery. I like Ryan. I follow him, and he was kind of outside of that top group all day long. And then, with Roche and going, and some of them going down, he just stuck with it, and he came in 7th. And I'm like, that's a hell of a finish for him. That was really good. My favorite story of the day is Adam Peterman. And I almost get choked up talking about it. Dude has won the race. What is it, 50 miles in or 55 miles in? He's done, and he walks. And he walks for 45 miles, guys. He walks. This is a guy who's won the race. He has that much respect for it. And for all the people that put in all the time, he walked and finished just under 24 hours. I get choked up thinking about it. Like, I have such mad respect for him. I think that is so awesome. And Dan Green. I mean, dude, you run 250-mile races. You're not supposed to do that well at this race. And he's a fun dude doing his interviews. But so those are my highlights of the man. The women, Abby, and I don't know a lot about a lot of them. I know, what's her name that coaches Dylan? Hannah Allgood. I like to. She did well. She had a good day. I was happy to see her do well. Abby Hall. I know she's kind of been out of it for a while. It's fun to see her come back. Yeah, I don't know a lot of the women, but the men's side, it was some really good special stories. And Jamil Curry coming in golden hour. Come on. That's amazing. I love it. And the guy from Death Cab Cutie, he finished, was it under 24 hours? I don't know if it was under 24, but he finished. It was definitely under 30 hours. I don't know what time he exactly finished, but yeah. Those are my thoughts on Western States.
Something.
Is it? Okay. What did you guys think? What were some of your favorite storylines from this year's Western States?
Abby Hall was really impressive to me. I mean, she's dealt with injuries. So that's why she's been out of it. And she paced, I think, Esther last year.
Okay.
And so to see her like come out and do that was awesome. Really happy for her. And Marianne Hogan, who took third. Same story. Like Rob Steiger, training for Ultra, like did a feature film of her a couple years ago, and like she was a bright star, and then injuries just popped up, and so I'm just kind of the story of the women's race to me was resilience. A lot of those ladies have some stories, and they battled through it and got really good results, and even on race day, a lot of them looked rough and kind of had blow-ups, and they all battled back and finished strong. And I was really pulling for Riley Brady. I thought they would have a strong showing. I mean, they dominated Black Canyon.
Yeah.
They put in really good work, so that was a bummer. But
I was bummed about Riley and Heather Jackson too. I'm a huge Heather Jackson fan, and so
I love Heather Jackson too. The other kind of underlying theme I heard from Caleb and Seth and some other people is that, and Hayden Hawks and his single track stuff, is that they think everyone's overcomplicating this race, and that like everyone's like, oh, Western States is California carpet running, like just you need to run 430 miles. And Caleb's like, I won almost at a historic speed doing 830 miles. And he's like, at the end of the day, Western States is a mountain race. It has 17,000 feet of gain. Like, you're going, like, it's about strength. And that's kind of what Hayden said, because they were asking him about, like, this becoming a track meet. And he's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you just need to be able to climb, and you have to have some speed. But we all have speed. We're pro runners. And Seth went on the Coffee Club podcast. I don't know if you guys are familiar. It's Jordy Beamish and Morgan McDonald, I believe his name is. They're stud track runners for On Cloud, or for On. Okay. And so Seth went on there, and like they were talking to him about heat training, because like David Roche was doing crazy heat training. Everyone's got their core sensors, and Seth is like, I sat in the sauna and I warmed up and cooled down in like a traditional sweatsuit, like a hoodie and sweatpants. And he's like, and then when it was really hot in Boulder, I waited till noon to run, and I went and did my runs in the heat. He's like, he's like, everyone's chasing 1%, 2% gains, but what wins Western States is fitness. Like 95% of the equation's fitness. So just get fit.
Yep.
And him and Caleb Olson, like Seth was hoping he podiumed so he never had to come back. Like in their podcast, he described it as his worst case scenario of he ran a day that requires him to come back. And Caleb Olson basically in his podium speech was like, yeah, great, glad I checked this one off, won't be back next year.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy that we all get so hyped for this race, and it's like the center of the ultra running universe, and these guys kind of, I don't want to say they hate it, because they all respect the race and they get the excitement, they all talk about the atmosphere is awesome, but like they almost dread it. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And Jim had a lot of good takes. He was on, like you said, he was on single track, and then he was on free trail on the broadcast. I just love listening to him comment on the race.
He was spicy on single track.
Yeah.
Spicy if you want to put on an elite bib, it's time to stop holding hands.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And then it's a disgrace that Black Canyons has Pacers. I was like, whoa, okay, hot takes. It reminded me of, did you guys ever see the Iron Farr interview of Jim? And I think in 2016 or 2017, him and Brian, the guy from Iron Farr, like knee deep in a lake, and Jim's just tanked and like actively drinking a beer, and it's the day before Western States.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, it's an all-time class. He got like hammered the night before either the 2016 or 2017 Western States.
Oh, wow. No, that doesn't surprise me. That's funny. Mario, what were your favorite parts of Western States this year?
Favorite parts? I really liked the excitement when they came into that first aid station at mile 10. I can't remember the aid station off the top of my head, but then when they came in, there was like
first one is Red Star.
Isn't that either Lions Ridge or Red Star Ridge?
Lions Ridge.
I can get those two mixed up.
Lions Ridge. Okay.
When that first lead group came through Lions Ridge, there were 12 guys lined up, and it was you could tell the aid station workers were like, "What is going on? This never happens where you have 12 of the best runners in the world just absolutely hammering." That was really, really exciting. And then I think, honestly, I turned on the live stream as I realized that he was trending towards record pace. And when he came in and you're coming up the hill and he came around the track, the excitement on, I don't know who put on that broadcast. Was it Iron Farr that had that broadcast going on the live stream?
I think Mountain Outpost technically does it, but it was Dylan and Corinne.
Yeah, they did a really good job bringing Caleb into the finish line, even though he was slowing down and kind of backing off that record pace. It was so exciting to hear, because they know the history of the sport, and so for them to be throwing out, the ghost of Jim Walmsley, as they were calling him, as Caleb was coming through the finish line, that was really cool. So, a lot of the grinding and the back and forth, the leadership throughout the race was fun to watch, but I feel like they did a really good job of just being genuinely surprised when they came through that first aid station well ahead of record pace with that many people running ahead of record pace, and then to bring Caleb through the finish. And it was just really, I really enjoyed the broadcast, the live broadcast, the live stream. They did a really good job on that.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was listening to, but they described the podcast as like Dylan brings the energy and then Corinne brings the facts, because Dylan will just be like, "Oh, has anyone ever done this?" And Corinne will be like, "Yeah, like 13 people have done this in the last 3 years." But Dylan's always just like so excited and like so into the emotion, which is really funny, because like when you watch Dylan do free trail podcasts and like the pre-race interviews, that guy has encyclopedic knowledge of the sport. But he just gets like so wrapped up in the emotions that he's just screaming in the mic, and Corinne's like, "Well, no, like 92 people have run that same split."
He's like John Madden, and she's like Al. What's his name from Monday Night Football? He's the color commentator. Yeah, they did a great job. And then my guy Tim was on the broadcast, and it was fun. It was fun. I felt bad for Tim and Rod. I was like, Rod was doing well, and I mean, this is what Tim had said, and Rod said in his interviews too, is like he was going for it. He was going to either win or blow up, and he blew up. he blew up, but that's all right. I mean,
can we talk
that's
about the fact that we can watch? I mean, there's lot breaks in coverage. I understand that, but the fact that you can watch almost 100-mile race, or 100-mile race in almost its entirety in the wilderness is crazy.
Yeah. Well, we can watch it. Would the mass public watch it? I mean, they did have a lot of people on the live stream.
There was like one time I was on, there's 34 concurrent viewers.
34,000?
Yeah, 34,000. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's a football stadium, a small football stadium, a college one. It's where the Gophers play. So, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I just love it. It was a fun day. Even without Jim there or Hayden and all those other people or Katie or Courtney, it was still a fun day. I loved it. So this coming weekend is Hard Rock. Nobody's talking about it. Does anybody care? Is anybody interested?
My whole
It's been very
Hard
quiet.
Rock.
What?
My whole Instagram's Hard Rock.
Is it? It just seems like it's been so quiet. You heard all about, Broken Arrow and TrailCon and Western States. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, Hard Rock starts this weekend.
But that's by Hard Rock's design a little bit. Like they want to be old school ultra running. Borderlands was talking about it one day. Well, actually, it was Carl Metzger. Said their permit allows for like 2 or 3 times the field size they have. Their permits for like 750 people, and they let like 250 people into the race.
They have. I pulled it up. I was looking at the entrance list. I don't know if we would talk about it or not. They have. Where is it? I thought I had it up here. Entrance wait list. They only have 147 people signed up for the race, men and women.
Okay, so maybe their permit's 300 something, but their permit's like double what the field is. But they want to keep it small. They want to keep it runner focused, and like, so they don't have Free Trail or Mountain Outpost come out and figure out how to live stream it. Or
I see Katie Scheid is signed. I'm looking at the names. I'm like,
Katie and her husband German,
who won it last year. What's that?
Katie's husband German. Yeah. Matthew Blanchard, who is
Blanchard is signed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's kind of
Zach Miller is signed up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's awesome.
Jamil is signed up. I don't know if nobody's doing Western States Hard Rock Double, are they? He's not doing it.
No, Courtney. Remember Courtney? Courtney won Western States Hard Rock and UTMB in 1 year, so Jamil can do the double.
Right.
Did she really?
She did.
Yeah. In one summer, she won all 3 races. I think it was the summer of 22.
Oh, I think you're right.
Oh, there's a video of it. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, crazy.
Crazy. Only she could do that. Yeah, Katie's in it. So I'm going to, I love that one. I've got sections of it programmed into my treadmill I'll probably do this week and this weekend. So, but yeah, I like that one. It doesn't have the hype as Western States. It's like you said, it's more kind of, it's old school, kind of old school. 150 people, that's it. Man, I didn't realize it was that small. 150 people.
And their lottery's weird too, because like of that 150 people, so say you divide it 50-50 and it's 75 men, 75 women, it's like 40 people get in who have run the race before and 35 people who haven't. Like their lottery system's based off a veteran rookie thing as well. It's a really interesting
finisher,
way.
Female, no. Yeah, interesting. All right.
Can we talk about the Nike shirts that Drew won Lavaredo and Caleb won in? If those things go mains.
Let's do a little gear talk. I want to talk about a couple of pieces of gear that I've got. Let's talk about those shirts. What are those shirts? What is it? It looks like cheesecloth, right? What is this?
It looks like a crocheted dishcloth. But
it does.
If those go mainstream, I'm gonna have to quit running. I'm not built to wear a see-through shirt.
We had stuff like that in like the 80s. I remember like these, half shirts with like that knit. They look like netting kind of. I was like, dude, that didn't work in the 80s. What is going on? How does it provide cooling? What? Why wear a shirt? What's the point?
I think
what is going on with that thing?
If it was on a shirt. I don't remember if it was on a podcast or if I was reading Caleb Olson's Substack. I consumed way too much content post Western States, but he described it as if it was wet. It was like wearing an ice pack. And Nike's not selling them, and the Boulder Boys didn't know Drew even owned one, so they're pretty sure like they had to sign NDAs to wear these things. What? So it's some serious tech. It looks crazy, but it's probably the future.
Oh God, no! I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing.
No way. You could have used that on Saturday, Joey. Imagine if you had the ACG
it wouldn't have helped. It would
shirt.
Not have helped. No, I'm convinced it would not have helped. Too funny. So I do have. So I got a new watch. I've got the new Coros. I got the. Which one did I say? The Pace Pro. So this is the one that has the this. What do you call this display?
Amyloid.
Erik?
No clue what it stands for, but yeah.
I don't either. But I think it's more LED as opposed to the other one, which is more like kind of crystal based. Love it. Absolutely love it. Worked great. The only issue I had was, I don't know if the elevation was off. It recorded 2,000 feet when supposedly we ran 2,300, but your watch recorded 2,700. So otherwise, I love it. Battery life is great. It's got a bigger dial, so easier for me to see. Of course, I've got my orange watch band on it, but I'll give you a report back after a few more races and runs and things, but I like it. The Lecky poles were great. I loved them until I had a heat stroke and couldn't get my hands to reach back to my quiver, and the gloves got too hot. But right before then, they were great. Those things, I told you, Erik, when I pulled them out, I'm like, holy shit, you need some of these. These are great. And they're really light. They fit in that quiver nice. The gloves are great. Tony and Ben, everybody who's used them is like, yeah, I wear those gloves. Well, Tony wore those gloves for 5 straight days. He's like, I had no blisters, no problem. So I'm looking forward to those. I told you I ordered the Bronco Billy vest from Ultraspire. I sent it back. It's too small. I told Erik this. I'm like, who the hell are they making these things for? I ordered the biggest size they have. I'm not a small guy, but I have like a 43-inch chest, 44-inch chest. I couldn't even like strap it up. Biggest size they had. So I sent it back. I ordered another Solomon 12 ADV skin. So, yeah. I am looking into, I told Erik this too, I'm looking into a light. I think I'm going to do a waist or a belt light. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the, I think the Ultraspire light. Is the one I'm kind of looking at. So yeah, gear, and my shoes were great. I had the Topos. I know Erik hates Topos and Ultras, but my Topos were great. They felt good. My feet were fine when I got home. I had no blisters. Like I told you, those things had great, as good as we could get traction in that mud, and they drained real well, and I had no problems with them. I liked them. You guys have any new gear? Erik got a lot of compliments on his Death March shirt. Man, everybody was coming by like, dude, I like your shirt. And you said it was great. It kept you cool, and
it was so like I got it Thursday.
Yeah.
And didn't wash it or anything. No issues. I was actually pretty cool all day. Like it got wet from the rain and just kind of stayed wet. There was one time, I don't remember what mile, but Joey and I were just like in this exposed prairie for the 9th time that day, but it was just humidity and grossness. And like I poured water down my neck and it got the back of my shirt wet. And it stayed wet, but like in a comfortable way. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we were wet from 7 a.m. to 1.
Yeah.
And I got in my truck and turned on the AC in 10 minutes. By the time I even got out of like Afton State Park, my shirt was dry. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Looks cool. It's unique. Not a lot of people
Yeah.
have it. And I typically run in Satisfy shirts, and it's a third of the price of Satisfy shirts. So
is it really
pretty nice? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that too. Gear is too expensive, guys. Come on.
It is.
Come on. Let your all of it. Shirts, watches, everything. It's like just it doesn't need to be that expensive. I get it.
You know what's not too expensive?
What's that?
The Nike, or not the Nike, the North Face Vectiv Enduris 4. It's the new shoes I have.
Yeah.
And they have North Face Dream Foam, which is their super foam. And then they have a plastic plate in them, not a carbon fiber plate, which...
Polyplate or whatever they call it?
Yeah, TPU.
Yeah.
Really liked them. I mean, same thing. They had great grip all day Saturday. And I, could have run Sunday. I had some other obligations, so I just didn't try to fit the time in for the run. But I felt really good Sunday, and every time I run in them, it's easy to hit paces I want to hit. You just don't feel beat up. I'm recovering well. The downhills, there was one downhill that was so slick that I just bombed it at Afton, and I never felt beat up. And yeah, I really, really like them. And they're $160, which is not cheap, and I understand that. But when you think about a basic daily, a Hoka Clifton's $150 now or $145, right. Well, now you're getting super foam and a plate. That's a really fair price, and it's been really durable and really comfortable so far. So I've been really happy with those.
I haven't tried those. I've tried a couple North Face shoes, and my problem was too narrow.
Yeah.
Too narrow. They just did not feel comfortable. So, yeah, I don't know.
These have a wider toe box, but I don't know if they'd be wide enough from coming from Topo.
I might try. Mario, any new gear lately?
No really new gear, but something that's been really consistent in my gear is my Knox gear vest. So it's like a halogenic. It's got halogenic tubes that go up and over your shoulders with a reflective waist strap. And then the back is this. It's this, pear-shaped device really that kind of lights up everything. But I can change the colors. So it's got red, green, blue, purple, pink, and then a whole bunch of flashing different colors. You can get, there's 30 different settings on it. It charges with the USB-C, but I've been doing a lot of running at night, and even if I run early in the morning, I just really want to be visible. I want to be seen. Yeah. I've heard people joke oh, well, you can't miss you. I'm like, well, that's kind of the point.
That's the point.
I want to be safe while I'm out there running. A lot of my runs are in the dark. And so it's been a go-to piece of gear for me. So something that if I don't have it now, I almost won't go run, or I'll just do I call it the mini loop that I take mini on walks on and stuff. And I'll do that loop, but really I just feel much more safe and comfortable when I wear it. So my Knox gear vest has been a go-to.
Cool.
Joey, having seen the naked belt in action, would you get one, or are you still a vest guy?
Still a vest guy.
Okay.
Well, my problem is, you saw me I had 20 pounds.
Oh, yeah, it's different.
I had a bunch of shit I didn't need, but I've got a camera I've got to carry. Sometimes, and if I'm, it depends on the race, I'll have a drone too. And that drone tucks in the back of those Solomon vests. Really nice. There's a little pocket. And the new one doesn't have it, but I'm going to make a video. I'm going to create one, and I'll make a video on how to do that. So I got to have a vest. I mean, I get it. The belt is nice. And like I told you, when I did those little loop races, the fans, I love that because I didn't wear anything. Nothing. I didn't even hold a bottle. I held a little disposable cup that I used at the aid stations, and that was it.
Yeah, I forgot about your camera gear. And then also I rarely use poles. Mario ruined me. We were training for Wild Duluth, and we went out there in the June, and I had that blow-up run, and I was like, man, maybe I need poles. He's like, when I did it, no one used poles. And then I was like, okay, I got to learn how to climb without poles. Okay. So I did that, which actually helped, because I climbed pretty well at Afton, considering the mud and everything. And that's just from learning how to climb well, like steadily for Wild Duluth. Yeah. I got out to Wild Duluth, like everyone had poles, but Mario and I was so pissed.
I did Superior Spring. I brought poles, and I was one of the only people using poles. So then every other 50K I've done since then, I haven't brought them because that first one I did, I felt I was the only one there. And now maybe they're making a comeback. It's been
people were using poles at 25K. Like people are using poles everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and it depends on the conditions. If that would have been a dry day, I mean, the poles, like, you know, when I had energy to use them, they were great, especially in those muddy, slippery sections, especially on the downhills. I pulled them out that one downhills, like, probably saved my ass a couple of times. But, guys, couple more things before we go. It is getting late. I'm looking at the time. We've been on here 2 hours. We probably only recorded a half hour of this because, you know, it stopped recording. But before we go, Erik, you wanted to talk about a race you want us all to do next year called the Rut 50K.
Well,
I know the Boulder boys are talking about it, but
you overruled me. You said we're going to Lavaredo next year.
Well, is it the same? It's not the same time. There's nothing saying we can't do both. Lavaredo is the same time as Western States, the same weekend.
I don't know that I'm swinging a Europe trip and a Montana trip a couple months apart.
I hear you. Tell us about Rut 50K.
Here's how they describe themselves. The Rut 50K is a true mountain running course. There are sections of this route, including the ascent and traverse of Headwaters Ridge, as well as the ascent and descent of Lone Peak, which are extremely steep and technical, with sections. In
other words, bring some poles, Erik.
Yeah, with sections of exposure and rockfall hazard. A fall in these sections could result in injury or death.
Wow. Oh my God.
So really more or less the gist of it is it's at Big Sky in Montana, and you're basically cresting the highest peak in Big Sky. There is mandatory gear, but it's not too bad. The official stats are from an Adam Peterman Strava file from 2025. 29.8 miles, 11,105 feet of gain.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, what?
Oh, my.
11,000 feet of gain?
Yep.
Oh, my
It's a serious run. And I think they have kind of tight cutoffs. 12-hour cutoff, it looks like.
Why are we doing this again? What is the what?
Because they give out tattoos. So if you finish, you can get a Rut 50K tattoo.
Shit.
And I don't have any tattoos. So like my first tattoo, if I had a meeting, that'd be pretty dope.
Oh, man. 11th. You know what that is. That's crawling out of the Grand Canyon twice. Yep. You're crawling out of the Grand Canyon.
With rockfall hazards. So
that's two times the elevation of Wild Duluth. More than 2 times.
And it's like at elevation 2. I can't find the official stats here, but it's like pretty... I mean, it's the real deal.
This sounds like the race for me. Yep.
The mandatory gear is crazy. Like, you have to have waterproof jackets with, like, so much down insulation. And, like... It's pretty real, yeah.
They have a satellite phone and bring your own oxygen.
Kids run.
They do have a 1K kids run. And if you take first, Joey, $3,000 basically pays for the trip itself.
Well, there you go.
All I gotta do is beat Adam Peterman.
What? All right, Rut 50K, and they do the tattoo. I did hear that, so yeah, I get it. Let's see how the Boulder boys do this year. They're all going out this fall, so we'll see.
Well, they'll go like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and be like, "Yeah, we didn't even break a sweat."
Right.
Solid training day.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else, guys? Anything else from you? Yes,
Joey. I looked at Lavaredo 80K because we had kind of talked about it Saturday. That's also
the 120 or the 80K?
Just the 80.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty serious race as well.
Is it?
And they have like insane mandatory gear. I don't remember. I looked at it this morning when I had some downtime. It's like, it's the real deal.
My buddy Tim says though it's actual mountain running, not like UTMB where you run on roads. He's like, no, this one you stay in the mountains and it's more beautiful. So I don't know.
Okay, so here you go, 80K, which I think is roughly like 50 miles, 47 miles.
Yep.
4,600 meters of gain. So if you just do 3 feet per meter, I mean, that's 13,000 feet, almost 14,000.
So just a little bit more than the rut 50K. Yep.
Yeah. Plus 16, plus another 25K on the end.
Right. How long do you get?
22 hours, and we'll probably need all of those.
You'll need all of those.
It also, it starts with a 7-mile climb that goes from 1,200 meters to 2,200 meters.
Yeah.
You go back down, then you have like a little bump. Then you have another big climb, a little bit down. There's a huge descent at the end. We just got to make it up in the last 10K.
7-mile climb at the beginning is not so bad. A 7-mile climb at the end, that's bad. So
no, it's
net downhill.
From 71.5K to 80K is downhill.
Okay. All right. Well, it's, let's put it in the hopper. We'll see. We don't know. One of these days. Before we go, and I know a lot of people follow me on Strava and stuff, I just want to give an update on Ricky, and I'll try not to get too choked up. You guys know. My precious little Ricky, Cocker Spaniel, we had to say goodbye to him a week after he turned 13, and he fought really hard. It was literally like 2 days after I talked to Tim. On the call with Tim, I said, yeah, I'm coming out there. We're going to drive Ricky out there. I'm like, he's hanging in there. And he fought really hard with his kidney disease. And we're hurting so bad. We've had dogs, we've had cats. We both have lost parents. And this one's just hitting us really hard because he was the sweetest guy. He had the toughest life, and we gave him a great life, and he gave back every bit of love that we gave him. And so thanks to everybody that reached out. Appreciate it. But said goodbye to little Ricky. He'll forever be in my heart. And I'm going to get a tattoo someday. If my tattoo artist ever gets back to me, I'm going to get that tattoo of him. So.
Very good.
And I got a shirt coming that says "Running for Ricky." So I will be taking him out to Mammoth. He will be running with me.
Of course.
Yeah.
So speaking of animals, did we want to do whiskers on kittens?
Let's save it for next time.
Okay.
Yeah. We got, these things, we can talk forever. So we'll save it for next time.
Have you guys been following the Tour de France?
No. It just started on the weekend, right?
Started Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. No.
One of the favorites.
Lance in it? Lance is not in it, right? Okay.
No, but one of the favorite sprinters, like he... pretty good stud. I think he won sprint. No, he took second in sprints last year, won it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Day 3 of the tour, just broke his collarbone. He's out.
Oh, God. In a crash?
Yeah, he crashed doing like 100 kilometers per hour.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I mean,
on a bike, can you imagine?
Yeah, besides, no, I can't. I cannot. No. They don't wear, they wear helmets, but still, I mean, that's not going to protect you when you're going that fast. That's crazy.
No, it's just going to... Your brain might not be totally scrambled eggs, but your actual body protection's a
your body. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All right, guys. That's it for this one. I'll get to the editing board and we'll see what happened with our missing footage, or if it recorded. I have no idea. No worries. We'll figure it out. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Joey.
Chat. Yeah, thank you. We'll chat soon.
Sounds good.
Stay cool. Don't forget those ice bandanas. It's warm here in Minnesota in July. It's not the heat, it is the humidity. Thank you, Mario and Erik, for joining me once again. I hope you guys enjoyed that half as much as the three of us did. As always, I'll have links to some of the events and races that we talked about in my show notes. And be sure to check out my YouTube channel where you can see some visual storytelling of some of the races and adventures I've had. So that's it for this time. Until next time, take care, everybody, and cheers. Keep running, keep walking, keep moving. One step at a time, whatever you can do. Keep going. You will get to that finish line.